Are you ready? It's the Roundtable with me, Robert Bannon.
Well, welcome to the Roundtable, everybody. My name is Robert Bannon. You're listening to us on Broadway World over here on the Broadway Podcast Network, iHeart, Spotify. And can we talk for real? You know, a legend, the legendary, the one and only icon that is Joan Rivers. Growing up, my first job was selling tickets at the John Harm Center for the Arts in Englewood, New Jersey. Joan would come every year. And what I loved about her so much working in the box office is that if anyone brought her a gift, if someone brought her flowers, if somebody was kind or thoughtful in any way, she would invite people backstage. She was always kind to the staff there. I wish I found my picture. I think it's at my mom's house of me and Joan when I was a little kid. The fact that there's now a show about her life with an incredible cast, with an incredible director. Ty's been here. The whole entire crew of this show have kind of been here on the Roundtable. And when I tell you, they brought out the tippity top of the top. And Nicole Parker, are you kidding? Why are you not up in the Cape? Why don't we know Eric Rosen? Eric Rosen is here to tell us all about what he's doing up there in Massachusetts. Eric, welcome to the show.
Thanks very much. We're talking like this. We're using our singer voice.
I know. I could be deep too, Eric. I could. When you talk Joan Rivers, you always
Joan.
But how long have you been up there, and what is your job up there at the Cape?
My name is Eric Rosen. I am the artistic director of the Cape Playhouse, and this is my second season. So I began working here in August of 23, but my first season was summer of 24, and we're ending my second season with Joan.
How did this show? Firstly, where are you from? How did you end up there?
I live in New York with my husband and son. My husband's the actor Claiborne Elder. My son is my son. We live in the city during the year. We come out here for the summers. But before this, I ran Kansas City Repertory Theater. I was artistic director there for 10 years. And before that, I was founder and artistic director of Chicago's About Face Theater, which is now celebrating its 30th anniversary, which is not possible since I must have been 12.
I can completely understand where you're coming from, and shout out to your husband. We all love the Gilded Age, and we all love all of the fun Broadway shenanigans that he has been a part of in your family. You know, I'm not to talk away from Joan, but I just finished adoption foster class with my husband, and when I hear about beautiful same-sex couples that have families, my heart flutters because I'm scared as hell. No.
Best thing you'll ever do by a lot. It's amazing.
Thank you, Eric. So shout out to send love to your husband and back to you and your family. So this show, you as artistic director get to pick what's on your stage. This is your second season. How does a show like Joan come across your desk, and what was your thought when you read it?
I actually started out. Danny Goldstein is the playwright, and Danny and I went to school together. And I saw that he was doing this. It started at South Coast about this time last year. And I was like, play about Joan Rivers, we should do that. And so I reached out to Danny, and it wasn't available, and it was, whole thing. And then I pursued it as I want to do. And I've really been so jazzed that we are a part of the development process. The Playhouse has historically not done a lot of new work. I've spent most of my career developing new plays and musicals and sending them out, Broadway, London, Chicago, Los Angeles, etc. So the chance to bring that energy to the Playhouse is really, it's cool. We've never done it. So I was excited to be on board with the new play, and then also to create a separate production. This is kind of a concurrent production with the Barrington Stage South Coast Rep production. Ours is directed by Ty Blue, which was my first thought was, let's get a rising comedy star into the seat and see what they can do. And he was able to assemble this extraordinary cast, and it's so fun. What a great show.
Well, if you know any people watching don't know about Ty, if you saw Titanic, if you saw even casting director for Drag Race and reality show, Ty has done it all, has been a little bit of everything, and he's absolutely brilliant. And then he gets Nicole Parker to jump in, who is, a woman of 1,000 voices, literally.
We love Nicole. I'm so excited to have her on stage. I remember her back from the Mad TV days.
Yes.
She's the funniest person on that show. And I love that she's doing this. It's really
when she was here, I told her, and I had to try to do my bad impersonation of her doing impersonations. So you got to get your tickets. CapePlayhouse.com is where you can get your tickets. The tickets are on sale, and they're probably going to go. So the run is going to be from September 3rd to the 20th,
Yep.
and it's written by Daniel Goldstein. So how do you explain what exactly this show? What story of her life is it? Is it a biography? Is it from her whole life? How do you describe it?
Yeah, I mean, it is. It's the story of her life from her trailblazing years in early comedy through to the tragic suicide of her husband, and covers all the bases as you'd expect it to. Does it in a really interesting way. Danny's created a four-hander in which Alex Finke and Nicole's trade off. The first half, Nicole is Joan's mother, and second half she's Joan, and Alex is young Joan, and then she plays Melissa Rivers in the second half. And it's really theatrical and interesting. I think Danny's crafted something that isn't. It is it is a biography, but it captures the spirit of Joan in a interestingly theatrical way. I love that it begins in the Laurie Beachman Theater where Joan tried out material. I got to go down to the Laurie Beachman a couple months ago and see like where there's this little vestibule between Manhattan Plaza and the entrance to that tiny little basement theater, and that's where she used to change clothes, which I love. And so it's both a love letter to Joan and a love letter to the theater and to comedy and to what it means to want to tell your story and to how we integrate our lives into what we do as artists. While the best thing of it is that Melissa Rivers is a producer on the show. So Danny had access to every single joke that Joan Rivers ever wrote. And so, it's really authentic. It's not made up Joan. It's like her actual voice. And you can feel it. You can hear it. God, what a legend. What an icon. What a filthy, filthy mouth.
And I love everything about all of that. Right? So, you watch, if you're a Joan Rivers fan and you got to see her stand up or you saw her on television, which everyone has, and she's a national treasure, truly. But her documentary about her life was so fascinating because she kept filing cabinets of jokes, of index cards, and she worked to the bitter end, like a full calendar of, she would perform at the opening of a 7-Eleven. She like a full calendar. She was so driven and hardworking. And I'm sure that is replicated in this. What did you learn about her after you read it? Is there things that maybe you didn't know about her and her life, or got a different sense of her as a person?
The thing that has surprised me the most is in pop culture, in our culture now, the degree to which Mrs. Maisel and Hacks they're about her. They're indebted to her. I don't know if the creators, if they were thinking that, but the trail she blazed and what she did against all odds to survive in a man's world of comedy. Think about like she was sharing jokes with Lenny Bruce and creating something wholly original and no one had ever done what she did. And now it's very common, but every female comic certainly owes a debt to her, but all of comedy does. She would push every single envelope there was, including like taking tragedy of her life and turning it into comedy. Is something the show really examines, and the way she incorporated her family into her comedy with her daughter and her mother, and it's just really interesting, this kind of portrait of an artist, taking her seriously as an artist. And I think that's we would do well to understand her as a major thinker of 20th century comedy. That's what she was.
What I love so much about this show is that Melissa Rivers is a part of it, and then you have this incredible all-star team. So this is not like an unauthorized, salacious. This is coming. This is coming. This is not a a kitty or whatever those famous biographies where all this. This is Joan's works, Joan's jokes, Joan's story, told in conjunction with her daughter Melissa, and it's going to be something special. What you do so well, firstly, your Playhouse. I've never been to Cape May. I was nervous that it wasn't even in Massachusetts. I had to brush up on my state abbreviations before
you said Cape May, which is in New Jersey.
Cape Cod.
Don't go to Cape May. If you want to come to the theater, don't go to Cape May. You'll be in the wrong place.
I carry my jersey with me everywhere I go. I'm from Jersey, so don't. Okay, don't go to Cape May because there won't be the Joan show there. Go to Cape Cod, where I'm not trying to be shady to New Jersey. Cape Cod is quite gorgeous, and your theater is pretty freaking gorgeous. What is the history behind it? What's it like to see a show there?
It is. This place is so magical. It was founded in 1927, which means that on July 4th, 2027, we will be 100 years old. And we're the oldest continuously operating summer theater in America, and one of only like a handful, I can find 10 theaters that will reach its 100th birthday. And if I don't screw it up, we'll get there. Uh, but that's why I'm here. I mean, I'm so excited to get to run one of these places on the precipice of this major anniversary. Because the history of the place is incredible. Like Betty White got her start here. I love this. Margaret Hamilton was doing a show here when Wizard of Oz came out. So the first screening ever of Wizard of Oz was at our cinema. We have a cinema on the property, which is incredible. Thornton Wilder, the year he wrote Our Town and won the Pulitzer Prize, came up to do Our Town on our stage. And it's the same stage, like from Betty White to Betty Davis, Gertrude Lawrence to Lula Bankhead. The walls are covered in the names of these iconic 20th century stars. Henry Fonda did his first plays there, and then came back and did a show with Jane, and she allegedly crashed her car on campus, which I love. And it's this iconic theater in a beautiful place on this like 20-acre campus. So it's both incredibly quintessentially New England, and we're creating work with. It's always been where Broadway stars go, but now our generation of Broadway stars are coming, and it's and I'm able to attract. Luckily that's my world, and able to get some amazing people to come up and share really, really highest level work in this beautiful, beautiful place.
Fine, Eric. Fine, young act. Fine, I will come up there and work too, Eric. I thank you. Thank you for not. Thank you for making me offer only. I'm ready to come up. No, what I love about young actors, and a lot of young actors watch the show, and a lot of them, die for summer stock, die for equity credits, die for being able to work and make their weeks, and dive to being able. You put together quite a lineup this summer in particular. I mean, your season ranged from the Buddy Holly story to Rent, Anastasia to Come From Away, and then Joan. And just you as the artistic director, as Joan is about to be up and on the boards, are you already thinking about next year?
Oh, it's almost done. I mean, it has to be, because we start selling, at the end of November. And we're already talking about 2027 because that's the big anniversary season. So it's a multi-year process. Like there are always this, the 20 or 30 plays that we should be doing. They'll hit our sweet spot, and then negotiating down to the end of like. To us, success is a show that will get people off the beach in the summer, and that will attract top-level Broadway folks, and that will provide opportunities to young artists who are at the beginning of their careers, either backstage or on stage, and that will be fun for me to do. That's it's increasingly small set of things that we can possibly do. But it's a blast, and the most amazing thing is the Playhouse is in this incredible renaissance. I know so many theaters are struggling. We've had 44 sold out shows in a 540 seat theater this summer. Come From Away is at 100% capacity. You cannot get a ticket. It keeps happening, and we're booming. The budget has almost doubled in 2 years. We're growing so fast. The staff has doubled. I'm really I've got my foot to the gas 100% to get us ready for this anniversary, and the whole community is rallying around it, and that's really fun.
Well, while you can't Come From Away if you're up on the Cape, but you can get tickets to go see Joan, and they're going to sell out too. I'm sure your number is not going to be 44 by the end of this summer.
I hope not. We'll see. We'll see.
What you do well, though, while looking at prices, is that their tickets as affordable as $50. Like, you're not going to go see Broadway caliber performers in New York City anymore for $50, and you make it accessible for everybody to really be able to have a special night out with their family or loved ones.
Yeah, it's important to us that the best seats are expensive, but that we maintain there are almost always these affordable seats, and the theater is tiny. It's 540 seats, but it feels like a 300 seat theater. So there are no bad seats, and if you're sitting in the back row of the balcony, you're closer than row M in a Broadway house. And they should be cheap. Families should be able to come. I've got a kid, and I can't go see things on Broadway as a family, so we come here.
And they're stars. I mean, his husband's a star, y'all. He's a Broadway TV star, and they can't. You can't. Yeah, it's the opportunity for you guys to see that. And also, I know that the Cape also does incredible stuff for children over the summer as well. You guys really do have an all-inclusive performing arts center going on all summer long for people that are in that area.
In one of the most beautiful places in the country, so why not come visit?
Why not come visit? So I may have to come up. I'm a bad gay. I've not been to P-Town. I've not been
What?
to Rhode Island. Don't judge, Eric. Don't judge me. I have not been up to the Cape. I'm going to get my. They're going to take my pride flag away from me in this conversation. So for people who want to be a part of this and want to be in behind the scenes or in front of the stage or on the stage, do your auditions, your job postings, all of that stuff. Is that stuff that we could find at capeplayhouse.com, or people
Yeah.
should keep an eye out for it?
All the audition notices are on there, and I really encourage folks, especially if you are a Massachusetts-based actor, to come to our EPAs. I know a lot of people think that's silly, but we actually do cast from them. We've cast principals from EPAs. I believe in it. Really important that everyone has a chance to get in the door. Pro tip, if you're a Massachusetts person or can get to the Cape, coming to the local EPAs that we do on Cape Cod in February, God help us, those are less well attended than the New York EPAs, which are it's tough to get a spot. But if you want to take a road trip in February to Cape Cod, who doesn't?
I would. You know what's funny,
out.
Eric? When I got my equity card doing theater over the summer, I got my job at a local EPA, taking the ride a couple of hours on a Sunday. It was Palm Sunday. I told my mom I cannot have turkey with you on Palm Sunday. And my little Italian grandmother, I need to go up to do this audition. And I booked the job because you may be more memorable. People may see you. You may have more of a chance to audition than you would if you're at Ripley or Pearl or wherever your open jar, wherever you are going to be in the city. So it's a great, and then when people get booked and hired by you, you're not going to make them sleep, 24 people to a room with no running water in some summer hut somewhere.
No, we've abandoned our huts, and no, the artist housing is pretty amazing. Actually, we're committed to making sure that every artist that comes here feels like I want them to go back to New York or Boston or wherever they're from and say this is the best place to work. You have to get there, because we can't pay very much, but we can pay this experience, which is the theater is a 12-minute walk to the beach. It's so beautiful here, and it's people bring their families. It becomes sort of a vacation for them while they're working, and that's really important to us. And even the crew has pretty good housing, and those, I should say, if you're interested in getting involved backstage, there are lots and lots of apprentice, internship, and early career opportunities for young people, and that's part of the ethos of this place. I was an apprentice at the Westport Country Playhouse at least a long time ago, and that's honestly why I do this. Like, I loved it so much. I learned how to run theaters by sitting in the business office at Westport. It's such a great, brilliant.
So, all right. So when Joan opens on September 3rd and the show runs to the 20th, and you get people from the Cape showing up after Labor Day, and they're the people hanging around the beach and trying to enjoy their last moments of the summer, what do you hope they take away from? What is the mission of putting this show up on your stage?
I would love it if people, I believe there is a huge future for this show. There's a great plan for it. There's a market for it. Whether that's on tour or on Broadway, I'm not sure. But to think of the Playhouse as a place where you're not only seeing like iconic Broadway shows revived, but also as a place that you get to see something before it goes to Broadway is, I think that's pretty magical. In a time of year in which being here feels really special. September is my favorite month up here. It's still really warm. The water's warm. It's not so crowded. And the people who come are, people who have time in September to be away. And our last show is always different than the rest of the season. The nature of what we do, all the college kids who work here go back to college. Usually it's a smaller show. It's a smaller staff. So it's a little more intimate for everyone. And I think for the audience, that's true as well. So I think that's, hopefully it's a big hit for us and a big hit in the future and begins a new tradition for us of trying stuff out.
I love it. CapePlayhouse.com, everybody. Get your tickets. Make sure you see and honor the legacy of the incredible Joan Rivers with Joan, a brand new play with all the jokes, produced by Melissa Rivers, starring the incredible Nicole Parker, directed by the incredible, I met Ty doing press day for Titanic on a boat in the Hudson River, nice, where no one heard of this show. Marlo was dressed as Celine Dion. I went with my cousin. When I first showed up, I said, what in the world is this? And by the end of the press day, I said, this is going to be a monster. And it was a monster. And that's all thanks to the incredible writing team, which is Ty, Marla, and Constantine. And now Ty goes on to be a big time director, and you grab him up at the Cape. So this is the next big thing for them all. So you need to get your tickets and make sure you see it before it lives on. And Eric's bringing it to you right there in the backyard.
I'm bringing it.
He's bringing it. He's bringing it up there. Thank you so much for spending time with us. I can't wait. I promise you, I'm gonna do the checklist. I'm gonna come up there one day and I'm gonna take you to lunch.
Maybe I'll take you to lunch.
Oh, you know the spots. Perfect.
I've got a budget, and I've got a budget. This
is the place to work.
Expense.
Actors. Everyone else has no budget. Everybody's got money to burn up there at the Cape.
At least for one lobster roll. Everyone gets one lobster roll.
Thank you so much for being here. Congratulations. Great legs.
Thanks, Robert. Appreciate it.